Hey guys, Chris here again with Project Nerf. You've been asking for it, so today I'm going to show you how to overhaul your regulator. Let's get to it. Okay, let's very quick go over some of the things that we're going to do here. We're going to slap a set of 132 motors up here in the flywheel cage, upgraded flywheels. We're going to rewire this, convert it to 2S LiPo, and maintain the stock electronics. We want the select fire, we want the out of ammo indicator to still work. But we're going to do some cosmetic / comfort mods on it. My largest grievance with a regulator is this region right in here, particularly the mag release. I really don't like it. It feels very foreign to me and just needs to be in a different spot. So we're going to get rid of that and move it around somewhere, not sure where yet. And then this entire front region here, we're going to take off because it tends to cramp up a little bit right here at the bottom, on the bottom of your hand. And I've got small hands, guys, so I can only imagine what some of the larger people that use this blaster think. But and then maybe do something with this front end as well. Try to fancy that up a little bit. Do a paint job. Get our performance mods done. And we really ought to have a very cool, war practical blaster. Let's get at it. Okay. Now you can see we've pulled off the rear cap for the stock attachment. There's 2 screws in there. That's got to come off before the body will butterfly. We've got the battery case off. And the handle, we have the screws out of it, but it's a separate entity all by itself there. Looks like we got to loosen that one last screw a little bit. There we go. So just note to remember, if you don't want to take the handle loose on it, if you're just going to wire in some different motors and something like that, you don't have to take it loose. As you can see, everything is really clean in here. Let's get some of these smaller bits out of the way here. There we go. All right, to get to the flywheel cage, which we need to get out, we have to start taking screws out of the assembly. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to take the board off of it as well, because I'm sure it's just going to be a pain if I don't. So there's 2 screws in that as well. So we're going to get that loose, start getting to this cage, and get back to you. All right, I took the 5 screws out. Now, back here, where this switch is at, okay, there's a little clip. And you can see the lip on it right there. So you got to reach in there with a screwdriver and pop that thing loose to get this gray cover off. There's a couple of screws in the flywheel cage, here and there. You can see I've snipped the wires already, so our flywheel cage is loose and ready for us to work with. It is, as many people have suspected, it is in fact a hyperfire cage. No difference in it at all, so, which that's fine by me. And as you can see, my table is quickly filling up with parts. It's got the conveyor sitting over here. Here's the front muzzle. And we really don't have to go into too much more disassembly here. Our mag release that I so greatly loathe, right here, pushes this rod and works this just like a standard mag release on a rapid strike or a strife. So probably what we will do is to lose this screw boss and just put a thumb style release right here in the bottom and clear all of this space out right here. Trim this off, round everything over, little body work, clean it up, and that'll give it a more comfortable feel. I think it'll probably be a little better looking feel to it. And then I'll try to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with that front end later. Anyway, let's get to doing that flywheel cage. As you can see, we've got the motors out, and we're just going to pitch those and throw them away. And I've taken the cage the rest of the way apart. Now I pulled these out of it. These holes are not here stock. I just drilled them out so that when we put our Titan motors in here, Hyperion, these are the 2S models, that we can use our little screws and screw the motor in. Because the clips on the back of the motor, these are much taller, they're not going to fit anymore. So we got to have a secure way to mount the motors, so we're going to screw them in. I'm going to get that taken care of, and I'll get right back to you. All right. So, you see we've got our 132 motors installed. Remember, positives go opposite of each other, so that when you wire the motors across, that they spin opposite directions. And I just wanted to point out a couple of things. To fit the hooligan flywheels in here, there's a little post that kind of sticks up right here and right there. Those have to come off to fit the bigger flywheels in. They will rub on them. So I cut those off, and then built into the cage, you can see here, these two little towers. So I dropped a screw in each one of them just to help hold this together so nothing shakes loose under the vibration. So we're going to go ahead and put this cage together, get it wired up. By the way, because of this gray carriage, these 132 motors will drop in no problem without any shell cutting. If you were going to do 180s, you would have to cut it, but the 132s fit great. Plenty of room to clear the wiring, so that's just fantastic. It saves us a lot of work. So we're going to button this back up and move on to the pusher motor. All right, we have come quite a ways since the last time I hit you here. So let's go over some of the stuff that we've done. Last time we had finished up our flywheel cage, installed our 132s and our hooligan flywheels. Made all those mods, got that taken care of. We went a little bit different way with the wiring than you would probably expect. The 132 motors are so current hungry that on my test model, I hooked them up direct to the PCB board, hooked my LiPo in, pulled the rev trigger, and the board went up in a puff of smoke pretty much instantly. Way too much current from those motors for this board to handle. So on this one, as you can see, our XT60 coming in has 2 negative wires and 2 positive wires coming out. One set runs exactly like you would wire a stripe, a negative down to the negative on the flywheel cage, the positive on the flywheel cage back to our big 15 amp micro switch here on the normally open, and then the common back into the XT60. The other set runs down here to this guy. This is a step-down transformer. It's also known as a buck. Okay, and what this does, you can put whatever voltage that it's rated for. This one is rated up to like 40 volts in, and then via this little potentiometer right there at the end of my screwdriver, you can dial the output voltage to whatever you want it to be. So on this one, I set it for 6.5 volts output, so just a little overvolt for our pusher motor. Now you can see I rewired it direct, no board on there. And then lastly, for the wiring, the original rev switch had long wires that came out and ran up here. I completely desoldered that switch from the board. Took it out so that nothing can apply additional current to the board that I don't want. We repurposed the switch. We placed it in the mag safety position. Okay, ran the wires back, tied it on to this JST connector on the positive side for our voltmeter. So that way we can plug this up, and whenever we pull the mag out of the blaster, the voltmeter will light up and show us how much battery we've got left. Cosmetic mods, obviously, you can see here the big rod here and button are gone. We got rid of those. I repurposed part of the rod and just epoxied it on, heated it up, gave it a little bend, and we have a really nice thumb release mag lever. So we're good to go ahead and cut this handle down. So that's one of the things we wanted cosmetically, so we're definitely going there now. So what I'm going to do is get this thing together, get it on the chrono, and then I'll come back to you at the end with it completely modified cosmetically in its new paint job. Alright, let's do our first chrono test. Warning guys, this is going to get a little bit loud. I'm hoping for maybe 110-ish out of the candid flywheel systems. They don't generally produce quite as well as the level cages, but let's see what we get. Alright, that was a 12 stick. Yeah, we got 12 good reads. High was 116. Our low was 104, so pretty consistent all in all. And our average, 109 feet per second. Guys, that's a 40 FPS increase, and we couldn't be more pleased with that. Alright, so show you guys the final product here. Now I have chosen to do this up in a really cool woodland camo. It's a tricolor. We've got this camo green and the kind of a chocolate brown color and these light tan accents. Hopefully they show up on camera and you can see them. And everything was a complete success. We got our modifications done cosmetically to the handle here and to the mag release. We move here, that works great. You can see our voltmeter comes on when you pull the mag out. And we were able to retain all of the blaster's electronic features. So I've got this 18 stick loaded up here, and figured I would give it a test fire for you guys. So in semi-auto mode, three-shot burst, and of course, full auto. You can see our out of ammo indicator still works. Guys, I call this a resounding success. Hope you enjoy the build. We enjoyed building it. Guys, remember our contest, December the 15th, for your Star Wars stories. If you're not certain about that, take a look at our last video and get the details on that, get those stories written and in here. So give yourself a chance to win a great prize. Till next time, this is Chris for Project Nerf saying have a blast.